Not okay, that's how we roll. Digging deep, no self-control. Truths untold, we're on patrol. Not okay, but that's just fine. Press play now, it's podcast time.
Yeah.
Right, everybody. Welcome back.
Well, and everybody, because I have a friend at work, and he tells me that he's thankful for having me because I'm not a yes man.
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the things that I think we also have lost. I think we're so, like, because of social influencers and stuff like that, we're so big in wanting people to tell us that, hey, you did a good job, or hey, you do this, or hey, you're doing everything right, that we don't have enough people to correct.
Right.
And I think that was one of the things too, because I know for you too, some of the times when I was corrected, it wasn't by my parents.
No,
it was by the neighbors.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, or aunts and uncles and stuff like that, because there was a bunch of us. My parents weren't able to watch every single one of us at the same time, and so it really did take the entire neighborhood, or the community or whatever, to be able to do that. And I don't know if we do that much anymore.
Multiple people allowed to discipline me.
Yeah.
It was not just my parents. I had to be.
Yeah.
Like, it was everywhere.
Well, and even then, and there would be a lot of times where we would come home and our parents would be like, and this is, not the height of cell phones or anything, hardly anybody had cell phones.
And your bicycle doesn't spin fast enough.
Well, yeah. You get home and you're like, how'd you even know? Like, I literally just did that. Like, this shouldn't even be possible.
Yeah. I swear sometimes I think my parents were like hiding in the bushes.
They had to have been, or something. Like, they had to have just been like, or like, created the first like little security cameras and stuff and put them on. Like, I don't know. They were just, because, like I said, my parents were just, it seemed like they I guess truly did. They had eyes everywhere, because people, hey, that's Emmett's boys or whatever, Yeah.
Looking back on it, like, they definitely knew way more than I thought they knew.
Oh, yeah, dude. I guess this is also not exactly that conversation, but like, growing up, or now being an adult, having kids, and like just watching them do stuff, and it's like, I know what's going on. Like, I absolutely know what's going on. And it's like, it's probably what the parents were like too. It's like, I don't know, but I absolutely know what you're doing.
Yeah. Like, I found out, like, later on, that, like, a lot of nights we spent up at the church at like 2:00 in the morning on school night. Like, my parents were checking in on us.
Yeah.
They knew where we were, even though, like, I would say, I know I had a lot of freedom as a kid.
Yeah, same here. Probably not so much as some of my brothers, but definitely me.
Yeah. But I think it was because our parents knew they didn't have to worry about us, because they had checked in on us. Or like, we had the people in our life that were.
Well, I think it's part of that, and I think part of it too, and I think, I guess even so much for this podcast or whatever, I think part of it goes along with that is there wasn't as much access to the ability to actually, like, watch over people. And because of that, they had to trust people.
Yeah.
And so they did get to, because my parents legitimately knew most of my friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that is as true today as it was then.
Right.
Because now, I've heard it a lot of times from people where they'll say, "Oh, I looked at Sharon's friends' Facebook. They seem like good kids."
Yeah.
And, like, probably never met the kid.
Never.
Only have seen what they posted on social media.
Yeah.
But they feel like that's adequate. And so they don't actually need to, hey, get that kid to come over and we're gonna, we see how they are.
I think part of it too, I know, at least for me, part of it was the people that I hung out with were in close proximity. Either my parents went to church with the people, or we played on a soccer team together, or like, it wasn't like the kids' parents that I was hanging out with. My parents knew all of them.
Yeah, because like with my friends, we didn't necessarily go to the church together.
Yeah.
For most of but they were kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and we also just went to each other's house.
Oh yeah. Well, and they came over to ours, and so it was like I said. But I think the social media aspect has replaced the need for the parents to want to get to know the kids, or maybe not the want, but maybe the need to get to know the kids, and so they feel that that's an adequate portion of it.
Do you think that there's a lot of negatives to kids not physically hanging out with their friends like they used to?
Oh, absolutely. Kids are like, I say this, but kids are weird now. Like,
well, we were weird. Like,
oh, absolutely. But I mean, like, so I guess what I mean by that is like it seems like there's this huge drop off of the ability, and this is coming from a person that is totally socially awkward.
Yeah,
probably one of the most socially awkward people ever. But that in social interaction, like people, like I had a call once and I guess this is a little bit also against the point that I'm making, but I had a lady that she was a little older. This was a few years ago, but and I think it was a car accident, and she called her dad to the scene to talk to me, and it was like, what? Like, your dad wasn't here.
Yeah,
your dad's not you.
Yeah,
you're an adult.
Yep.
Like, you're a whole adult not talking.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is because we don't have, like, we've removed the necessity of, like, social interaction for the most part. And we can, like, what people, call the keyboard warriors and stuff like that, so that they don't even try to have social interaction but the exact opposite. And when they're presented with that, they try to avoid it.
I think it's a little bit deeper than that. I don't think it's just that, right? I think I think there is an overabundance of parents doing things for their kids.
That happens. Like, yeah.
A lot of times you'll see people, like, especially like kids who they come across a difficult situation. Their first response is, "My mom will get me out of this."
Oh yeah. Well, like to that same point too. I know having some friends that are teachers and stuff, they would, I know if my parents get called to the school, which for me was rarely, not as rarely for some of my other siblings, but when my parents got called to the school for me, it was, what did Michael do? Yeah. We're about to correct this. Yep. But now it's, what did the teachers do? What did their teachers not allow for my kids to do?
Yeah.
And I think that's, a huge problem too, because obviously our kids aren't always wrong. And we should listen to kids' point of view when it comes to a lot of those types of situations. I think it was a little
too far in the other direction while we were going up.
And we've overcorrected.
Yeah, and we've overcorrected back the other
Yeah, because it was like, I needed to be listened to, and it was like, now we're listening to the kids a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And we're not, and we're giving them grace, but we are not, because kids lie. Well, I say kids, people lie. And it's and that is, we have to be able to understand that, or I guess that's the situation. And they're obviously, everyone wants you, or going to feed you the information only enough that you can take their side.
Right.
They don't want, because they don't want you to take anybody else's side.
You see this, and I see this in our job, that it's not even just lies, because there are people that will lie.
Yeah.
But it's also just shading the information in the best way possible.
Yeah. Right. So that you are on their side and not anybody else's side. Because like you said, it doesn't even necessarily have to be lies. They'll just, I'll leave out the part where I drop kick the person in the face.
Yeah. He was so mad at me. He was yelling at me.
Yeah. And so what am I supposed to do if he's in my face? Oh, maybe not drop kick him first. And so, and I think that is a little bit of the issue too, when it comes to, like I said, some of the issues that we're having with community and discipline and some of that kind of stuff. It's just that we're losing a lot of the community because we're not trusting the community anymore. Right. And we're not trusting some of those, I guess, staples of life where, again, we know that kids are going to lie to us
Yeah.
about certain things. We know that kids are going to say all these things, but for some reason we're like, well, this is my kid, and I know that's a whole police thing, but yeah,
definitely an interesting world we're living.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure how to navigate it at times.
Well, I think that's I don't know. And I know this is completely off the topic of what we were talking about to begin with, but I think to me that's the beauty of it. And I think that's one of the things that because being a Christian, and this is has become, I guess, one of my more favorite stories about the shrewd manager. I think it's in Matthew, where it talks about the manager that was going to get fired. So he goes to all the people and he asks for, or he doesn't ask for anything. He goes and he tells all these other people that owed his master that's about to fire him. He was like, hey, look, you owed my master this. I'm going to cut you a break. Don't forget about it though.
Yeah.
And he goes and he does this to a couple people, and then at the end of the story, I don't know exactly how it's worded or anything like that, but it kind of says that like Jesus be like the shrewd manager, and it's kind of like so I'm supposed to cheat people. That seems weird, but I think it's more along the lines of sort of what you're talking about. Is like we don't know how to navigate this life, but we can set up ourselves into advantageous situations if we just use our brains to be able to do that. But I don't think, and maybe, not trying to call any group of people or any person particularly stupid, but maybe some of the people don't have the brain power for it. Maybe. Maybe people, it's not cut straightforwardly for some people to be able to do that. But I think that is one of the things that we are lacking. I think people aren't trying to I think people are looking at the path, maybe looking at 4 different paths and saying, I don't know which way to go. So I'm going to sit here until I watch someone get to the finish line. So I know that that's the path to go.
Right. Okay. So I think there's something, and this is kind of on the same subject, but there's something that me and we've talked about in the past, and I think we forget about it sometimes, is how much our group of friends has influenced our it's like let's be honest, we've gone down the wrong path before, and
absolutely
we've got friends that are assholes and they'll tell us exactly
exactly and I think that is an important part of it, like you said, is to not have those yes men or those people that are just gonna say everything that you're doing is good.
I would almost go so far to say that one of the most important decisions you'll ever make in your life is choosing your friend.
But I think I don't even know how to exactly say that, but I think that's the hard part, though, because you obviously make your friends based on similar interest and similar situations. We met each other not from the fact that we went to the same school for nearly our entire lives. It was the fact that we were going to the same church just randomly. And then even from there, we didn't even become close friends until we were almost out. Actually, I think graduated from high school. And
I think it wasn't until we were both interning at the church. But it's one of those things though where I don't know that we became friends because of our interests are similar. I think that may be part of it. I think there was more. I think sometimes you meet people and there's almost an inherent trust with people.
Well, I think so that's sort of what I was trying to get at too. Is I think one of the problems that we have with picking friends is sort of we get to a point, like most people, myself included, we want to be around people that are fun. Even the people that we don't think can have fun. That's what they do. You're around people that you want to enjoy, and when any of those people become abrasive, we cut them off. And that's a huge thing that I see with people these days is I'm cutting everybody off. It's like maybe some of those people mean you well, and you absolutely don't need to cut off.
I think that comes from a lack of empathy.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
I think a lot of times people want to think the worst of people,
Yeah.
which makes you the bad friend. I'm gonna be 100%.
Yeah.
That makes you the bad friend.
Yeah. Well, if you're cutting your friends off, obviously you're the bad friend.
I think there's situations when somebody should cut friends off.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and we've both done that with similar friends.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing about our friend group is we've allowed people in.
Yeah.
And then I think people a lot of times remove themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm not sure I can handle this.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm ready for this commitment. Like,
well, and that's one of the things I think is I don't know if people have friends for as long as we've been friends anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if people do that because I guess myself included, which is, again, I can't exactly because we have been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
There were people that I honestly thought were going to be lifelong friends.
Yeah.
That I haven't talked to in 10 to 15 years.
Oh, I know. Same here. But I wonder what is that thing though that makes a friendship? Like, what is?
This is one of the things again I've talked to my nephew about. And I think this is part of the truth to that is all relationships require sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I think part of those sacrifices is, there have been times where me and you we didn't talk as much.
Right.
There were times where probably we went a year or 2 years or whatever. And I think that is a thing that we have to sort of understand because at any point of those two, we could have both been like, well, I'm going to cut him off because he's not a good friend of mine.
But you say that and like, yeah, we went a long time, but I know at least in my head, I knew if I called you and I needed something.
Yeah, you'd be able, you'd hey, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
You take an example, like when my mom died.
Yeah.
Like you, Chip and Pearl, like drove hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be with, like, it wasn't, and like we talked like once a week, once every, like, it wasn't like we were hanging out all the time, but I knew I could count on you guys. Like,
well, yeah. But I think that's part of the thing that, that makes that the way that it is. And because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to do that with all my friends. There's no way I could even manage that with all the, people that I would, consider friends. But I think, but I think it goes down to that. And, again, with picking friends is, again, with sacrifice and it's just not sacrifice, but it's like sort of understanding of who you're going to put your worth into and then putting that into that.
Yeah.
And then again, just making that sacrifice because I'm going to say this and I might be wrong, but I believe that I could have put more effort into other friendships and they could have possibly lasted as long. Maybe. I don't know.
I know that to be the case for me personally.
Yeah.
And I'll be 100% honest with you. Like, there came a point, and I think it was in my mid-20s, all right, where like I was like, I've got my friends.
Yeah, we're
like,
done. Yeah,
you're okay, but I don't have time.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. And I think that's the thing. But I don't know if we want to do that. Well, like obviously, like you said, we're same here. I don't know what point it was, but at some point I was like, okay, I will meet new people. But I'm not putting this effort of friendship no more.
Like it reminds me of, and this is what always plays in my head is that there's a scene in Fight Club where he's sitting on the airplane, and he's talking about single serving friends or glorified acquaintances.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, and this sounds so negative, but most people that I meet, I'm like, you're like acquaintance plus, like
yeah, like you've got a trial service going on here, but I think that is a true thing. But I think the point of that's a good point is that, but that's okay. Like like you said, like I think it's not necessarily a negative thing. I think because we all I think say it all the time, maybe sort of having a different perspective of it. But people come in your life for a season. Like, like, I think that's absolutely true. Some people, and I think some people come into your life, whether if it's a good lesson or a bad lesson. Some people come into your life to show you that how to do this or how to do that, or give you perspective on this and that, and it's okay. And I think having going through as many relationships as I have,
you like projects.
Dude, well, not anymore.
You say that,
but hey,
prove me wrong.
I'm not building a project right now. But I think like those things are important to understand, and like just with breakups, because other people have asked me about breakups, and I think that's an important thing that we should take from those things is that sure, all breakups suck. Whether if it's amicable or you're like, hey, it just ain't the right time. It's not you, it's me.
Whether she burns your clothes, like
did she burn my clothes? She cut holes in my clothes. Wait, did she burn my clothes? No, she didn't burn my clothes. She cut holes in my clothes. But whatever the case is, whether she was like legitimately crazy, breakups are always bad.
Yeah, they are.
But you can always, you should always be able to take some sort of a nugget that you can create for the rest of your lives and take that from there. And I think, like you said, some friends are like that single service. Like, hey, this is what this person taught me about friendship. Yep. And I'm going to continue using that in as I continue meeting new people.
And I've heard you talk about it, and I know I've definitely done it. There are people that come into your life for a season that whether or not you're teaching them something, they're teaching. Like it's definitely important for us to like share our wisdom and learn from other people. I think you have to be careful as an individual, realizing what type of friend people are going to be, right? Because I know a lot of people who they have a friend in their life that fits the mold for that season of their life, and then they grow apart after that, whatever that bond was that they were helping each other through. But then they have anger toward that person that's no longer.
Yeah, you see that a lot, I think.
And it's like, don't be mad, right? Be a little sad. But when friendships end, it's for a reason.
Well, and I think the problem with that too is that, and I know this, I include myself with a lot of my examples because obviously I don't know anybody better than I know myself. Is we don't know how to process, or anger is the easiest emotion for us to process, and I think we're just willing to go there because it's the easiest thing to do, and I think that is one of the biggest reasons, and we can hold to that because I've even seen it with some people with like passing away parents and stuff, where they'll be upset that their parents passed away, and it's like, bro. Like, or, they'll be angry. It's like, I can't believe he killed himself and stuff. It was like, he was struggling. Like, and I think, and I think the reason for it is that we're sad.
It's,
and like,
it's easier to be angry than sad.
Yeah.
It really is.
And because, I know there's been tons of times where I'm just like, I know I'm sad and I have absolutely no way of like knowing how to get this out and be sad. So I'm just going to go around, stroll around my house and be mean to people.
I'm going to be short with people. I'm going to be temperamental. Like, that's and that's where the good friends come in. They tell you to quit being a dick. Like,
well, absolutely. But I think even then too, sort of with your point of, the seasoned friends, but I think again with the idea of sacrifice when it comes to some of this, is to also not give up on your friends. Like there is a time, we used to have a huge group of friends, especially like we're coming right out of high school. And we would do so much stuff around Texarkana. And then, one friend would go off to college or a friend would get a job that would not allow for him to be able to hang out as much. And, you hit him with a text message and actually probably one of the people that I remember the most about this, and he wasn't really particularly a super close friend or anything, but Patrick Crane.
Yeah.
And he was always around.
Yeah.
And he would be doing everything with everybody, which he wasn't super involved in the stuff that we were doing, but he was there. And he did a lot of stuff with us. And then he just sort of disappeared.
Yeah.
And then he came back and he sort of disappeared again.
Yeah.
But I think, sort of, getting back to the point of it is that we do need to recognize when a person is becoming, I guess, just a person that I used to know, kind of thing, and being okay with that person sort of slipping into oblivion and not having ill feelings, like you said about it, not having ill feelings about it, but just knowing that we're not the same people. We're not. We met at a certain time. We've learned certain things together. We've developed memories, but at this point, we've got different lives now. So and that's okay because we're still alive. We still got lives.
And I think I look back on like some of those people in my life, and I associate them with certain happy memories. Yeah. Right. And it's easy to do that, but like I realized after like we were friendly, but we were never friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's just something you figure out with time, because I think everyone has a desire to be wanted or longed for. Yeah. Even just cared about in general, just cared about.
Yeah, and included. Yeah.
And but like finding a good friend or multiple good friends it's something that will change your life dramatically. Yeah. It's the biggest thing that will influence the outcome of your life.
And I think, talking about it, it makes me wonder if most people actually do have friends. Because, this is one of the funny things that I always think about when, and I don't know why this is one of the memories that always sticks with me, but that when we were at church camp and we were all talking about our lives and Gary was like his Xbox buddies. Yeah. And we were like, you were friends? It was like, we play Xbox together and we hang out and we do stuff. And it's like, yeah, my Xbox buddies. Like, no, those are friends. That's literally the definition of what you would call a friend. Yeah. I actually had a similar conversation with my nephew not too long ago about how he was like, he called it his buddies in the band. Yeah. And I was like,
your friends?
It's like, Jordan, that's a friend, man. You've got common interest. You share those common interests together. You spend tons of time together. And he was like, well, but we don't really, I was like, you don't necessarily have to do that. You don't have to have some sort of a subplot, to, like Project Mayhem sort of thing going on, like your Fight Club. Like you spend time together, you enjoy spending time together. Yeah. And you like you said, you don't necessarily need to have similar interests. Yeah. But hopefully you've got something similar and that's what you're doing while you're together. Yep. And
so let me ask you this. Yeah. All right. Because I feel like we're talking about this very base level of friendship right now. Yeah. Right. What is it about me, you, and Chip that is different?
Right? Well, I think the level of trust, honestly. I think that's the biggest part of it.
Because on paper, we should have disconnected along.
Oh yeah, there's no reason why we should be talking to each other anymore.
Yeah, and it's persisted for 18 years.
Yeah, well,
what is it like?
And it's even to me, it's kind of odd.
My 20-year reunion is this year.
Yeah. Well, so I guess it would be closer to 25 years that we've known each other, because I know because Chip came to the church when I was still in I guess I would have had to have been in high school, but I don't think I could have been more than a freshman. Yeah. And so it would have been then until about now. So it would have to have been about 25 years. But talking about that, because there, especially with Chip, there's no reason why I should program every phone I get. I put him in as the person that can bypass my do not disturb. His phone calls go straight to I'm going to answer his phone calls because I know, because, well, for one, I know when he's going to call me, it's not going to be a load of BS, and I'm going to actually enjoy the conversation.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like I said, to me, I think it has to just do with the level. Like, I guess sort of with the conversation thing, like with putting him in that, is I know that Chip has my best interest in heart.
Yeah.
Whether if it's telling him telling me something, you know, negative,
right?
Him telling me that, hey, you need to do something better in this sort of a situation.
Yeah.
I know that what his advice or words or whatever they're going to be is going to be of something, even if it's what I would not take as positive, that it's to better me.
Yeah. And even when you make that wrong decision, you know he's going to be there.
Yeah. And
give you a hug, pick you back up.
Yeah. And even help me from all those situations. Yeah. I think that's probably, but and I guess, you know, with going back to that base level of friendship, is I don't know if people go from there. I don't know if they even try, because I know, like, you know, what you were saying too, is I don't really try to do that anymore. Like, I won't lie, there have been a couple new friends in a couple few years that I've made in the last few years that I have been able to build that sort of a relationship with. Obviously not as strong, but that I do trust. And then I call them about stuff, and I'm like, hey, you know, this happened. Do you think about this, or blah 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 blah. Yeah. But I don't know if people move on from, like, hey, we got similar interests, or we've got a similar situation. Let's talk and hang out. You know, go to the club or whatever. But when they go home, they're not building upon those relationships anymore. Yeah.
There's definitely a breakover point in friendships when it goes from placating ideas to true honesty.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you break over into that just unadulterated honesty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you've reached a new level in friendship.
And I think that might be even on top of, you know, going back to our point of, you know, me, you, and Chip, even with, and then making newer friends, is that one of the things that I have actually been told by some of those newer friends is like, man, you know, if it's one thing you want to get from Michael, it's the truth of how he feels. Yeah. Like, he's going to give it to you. Yeah. And I don't know, like I think that might be the thing, is that, and they've also said that I probably do that too much. Yeah. But I think that's the thing too, of, like, or I guess the situation of where people aren't looking for that. Right. And people have said, you know, they've said that about me, but other people have been like, I'm going to avoid him for those very similar reasons. Is I'm not ready for that. Or, you know, they probably say that I'm not ready for it, but they want to avoid it because they don't, it's not even that they don't want truth. It's just that they're like, hey, this is too intense for me.
Right. Well, and we saw that a lot going through the years, especially when you get me, you, and Chip together.
Oh yeah.
We're an abrasive group.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, absolutely.
Like, I understand why people don't like us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm fully aware.
Yeah. But I just don't know if people, I wish people could understand friendship the way that we have it. And like, because I know people who have never had a real friend.
Well, so, you know, going back to my troubles in relationships, I was actually talking to a girl once, and she was like, I don't know how to love. And I was like, I don't want to talk to you.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, but that wasn't my reaction. My reaction was like, no, we're done. Like, I ain't teaching you. Yeah. But, like, for one, I don't think that's particularly what she meant. But I think the problem is like, you know, is sort of what we were saying, is people don't know how to build or create relationships. I think, like, you know, I think most people will agree with this. Like, we're all broken people.
Oh, we are.
And no one knows, like, obviously I'm still single, so I don't understand. Like, I don't understand the relationship dynamics of stuff, and I think that's the problem that most of us have about most things. Is like we don't understand relationship dynamic.
Yeah, and I think there's a common component to people that I know who don't have friends. Like, and I'm using friends in a weird way here because
I get what you're saying.
like they just don't develop those good friendships, and most of it comes from a lack of trust in humanity.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's true because I have a pretty big lack of trust in humanity.
When I look at people, when I talk to people who typically don't have close friends, what it is
Which I get what you're saying.
Someone in their life
wronged them,
and that thing is carried on to the rest of people.
And so they
so they keep an arm's distance. So like they may meet people that they want to be friends with, right? But they're keeping them at an arm's distance.
Yeah, and they place whatever burden from other people upon these new people,
right?
Saying that we're not going to allow this to happen.
Yeah, I'm never going to tell you what I'm thinking because that might push you away, or you might betray that.
Yeah,
right? That's a.
I feel the same, but that's how people feel, but a lot more of a surface level, though. More of, and this is probably because of the police work. That I think a lot of people do that because a lot of people know that they will get the no's, or they'll get because you'll see a lot of times. I've seen it a lot on social media, or whatever, where somebody will make a video, and then they'll disable comments.
Yeah.
Or they will make a post and delete posts from certain people.
Yeah.
And I think that is because, or we will seek out, like even the creation of however you want to feel about it, the LGBTQ plus people, where they created this entire community. And flagged fly underneath so that they don't have, so there's not trouble looking for people with similar interests and not giving them so that they can get the validation that they're looking for surface level, and not the validation that maybe they necessarily need to have to tell them that, hey, this is a good thing or this is a bad thing or this is okay to feel this way and still act this way or whatever. And I think that is, like I said, I think it's a little bit more surface level than just being wronged by people. Obviously, a lot of those groups of people feel the same way about being wronged by people, and then they can get to a step where it's like, hey, I'm going to keep you arm's distance because just like I've encountered it before in dating, where it's hard to get to know a female because she might have been sexually assaulted by another male, and so it becomes like a much harder situation to be able to court her, if people are still calling it that these days.
And it's one of those things where and I get it's super hard to not let your past dictate your future, but understanding never being able to trust someone again, to me, is terrifying.
Oh, absolutely. What kind of life is that, man?
Yeah, like, we've been betrayed.
Yeah,
right?
Multiple times.
Yeah, and those people just aren't in our life anymore.
Yeah.
But I always want to give someone the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but I will say, though, quick to remove.
Yeah. Well, so I was thinking about this actually the other day about that same situation because I don't remember who I was talking to about it. But it was just like, we're talking about people that have wronged us in the past, and I was like, but I don't wish bad on those people. Like, I generally hope that they are living an extremely happy life. Yeah. Like, I truly wish that they've gotten past whatever happened, that their life is abundant, God's blessing them, and and all of that junk, and and not any type of ill feelings about them. But again, we're not trying to make up, or I'm not trying to introduce that person back into any part of my life, whether if it's just a friend gone bad, or a relationship gone bad, or family member that I just didn't get along with.
Yeah, harboring those ill feelings, a lot of work.
Yeah, way too much work for me. Is Like, but
that's the key to friendship is just true laziness.
yeah, just being just laid back and just. But I think that's another thing too is I feel like people always you always have to be doing something, and I can't do that.
No. So before you came over here today, I was talking to Haley because I was getting ready to cook the burger, and she was like, "Oh, what time's Mike going to get here?" I was like, "I don't know."
I love like our friendships like that when people ask, like, because my nephew, it was something about you. I think you were coming over one day or something like that. It was something similar, and he was like, "So when is Zach's coming?" I was like,
"I don't know.
He'll be here."
Yeah, he'll be here.
Yeah.
And like she was like, I don't see how y'all do it. And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
He gave me a ballpark number earlier.
He's gonna be hungry. He'll show up when he shows up. He may eat a cold burger.
Yeah,
but that's on him.
But he'll eat a cold burger. Yeah. But I think that is the beauty. But I think that's the beauty of our relationship.
Oh, some people can't. There are people that can't work like that.
Oh, like no, absolutely.
Like it is.
Yeah. And I've had this conversation a lot of times with people, and like I would actually consider myself a planner. I actually like on my just like I saw on your refrigerator, you've got a calendar. Got stuff on the date.
That's not my calendar.
Oh, that's not yours? Oh. Well,
that is Haley's calendar. Well, she maintains that calendar. Yeah. Well, I don't plan nothing.
I've got one. I've got a calendar. I've got dates on it. I've got certain things that, like, not a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And never times. Never times that are on there. But it's like things that I can't.
Yeah.
And, but everything else is just, such a like
one of your qualities that I envy the most is your ability to not do something.
Man.
Dude, you are the master of not doing something.
I used to be. It's like now my body's like, you should have been doing something at some point.
People are always inviting you places and you're like, eh. Like, why don't you want to come? I just don't want to.
That's funny because so I guess like my friend group or whatever at work, they used to get together. Well, I say we used to get together because I did go a couple times.
Yeah.
They would get together and have cookouts and stuff.
Yeah.
And they would actually say that they was like, we're gonna include you in the group chat. Absolutely, no, you're not coming. No. I was like, but you'll come sometimes. Yeah. So we'll put you in the group chat because
if you want to come, you're invited.
Yeah, it's like so you'll know.
Yeah.
But we know that most of the time you're not gonna come, and like nobody gets offended by it. They're just like, it's just who he is. We don't know anything. Like we know that he's not gonna show up. Yep. We know that he doesn't want to.
He's gonna be there when he gets there.
Yeah. Like. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, like what's funny about that is that like I guess it's sort of an opposite of I think how people feel about me is that like I don't want to be the first person.
You don't want to be the first person there. I will say you've never been late to something that started at a specific time.
Yeah,
that was like essential, right? Like if we left for a trip or something like that, you were always there.
Yeah, on time.
But if there's any wiggle room,
if there's wiggle room, I will wiggle the crap out of it. I will be there as the absolute latest.
Yeah,
that's too. It's just like because I'll just be laying in bed. And I'll just be like, man, I absolutely don't want to get out of bed. Which is funny too. It's like I need to like install in my house like one of those thermostats so that I can control it from the bed. Yeah, because like. When the temperature's fine, dude, it's so hard to get out of bed. It's like the temperature's just right. Like I've got to crank it all the way up and just like make myself so uncomfortable to get out of bed but I think that's even part of going back to our friendships and our friendships and stuff like that is I think that's just part of it too. It's uncomfortable, being uncomfortable. Yeah, and I don't think. We make ourselves uncomfortable enough to grow as people, which even going back to the complete original part of it with society being or correcting our actions so that we can incorporate our poorness into society is that we have to make ourselves uncomfortable. Yeah. We don't want to pay the assessor's taxes or we don't want to go and do all this and do that. But maybe we have to just and
a
just
little
for now.
discomfort now may save you a lot of discomfort later.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that I think that is the biggest thing, and so I think that's part of why people don't make friends anymore. I don't think people want to be uncomfortable even for a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think me and you are really comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Oh man, so I was talking to somebody.
I love being in weird places. Like,
I love making uncomfortable situations, and I mean more of it in like a social interaction type of situation than just like some cave dweller or a diver or whatever. No, I can't do that kind of stuff. But like, just like this, I will address things that are uncomfortable, like on purpose.
Oh my! I make Haley a nervous wreck whenever we go places with her family or like other people, because I will touch on the difficult thing.
Yeah.
And I can see her like tensing up in the corner, like waiting for me to say something.
No,
She's like,
please
don't say it. Just don't, leave it alone. And like even like when we go to church or something, I hear the pastor say something, like, kind of misread that. And like, and I know on calls whenever I go out to something and I'll call people out. Like,
I don't do it because sometimes it's just going to turn into, not a physical fight, but at least a big argument. But I do it a lot of times whenever I know that I can circumvent sort of some situations to become a big, or not be an argument or something like that. And I'll bring it up and I'll be like, hey, I got a line about this. And then they're like, oh, that line is like, well, these 2 points can't exist on the same time, or it can't exist at the same time. Yeah. So you got to be lying. Like literally one of these statements that you've said have to be untrue. Yeah. But I just think I don't know if, and maybe that's a detriment to our character. I don't know. Maybe we make people too uncomfortable too often.
Here's the thing. It was a sore subject in my first marriage. Yeah. And I told Haley coming into this that I was like, look, Chip and Michael are part of the deal. They're not going away. Yeah. You might not like them. You're going to have to be okay with that.
Yeah. But you might. Yeah. You at the very least.
Christy hates Chip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and absolutely. Well, she's not a fan of me either. But.
Yeah. But it's one of my favorite qualities. Yeah. Like,
it's funny too though, because I think in our friendships, the people that are our closest people understand our relationship and appreciate the relationship that we have too. Because like I know that my mom talks about it actually all the time. And she's like, that Zach and Chip, and they're just so good people. Well, that's not how mom sounds, but like that, like they, like she talks about it in a way that like, again, she appreciates what you have been able to do, and again that you and Chip have been there to help. Yeah. And not to be, because again, I don't know. Well, I think it's very clear, just with my siblings, that without the introduction of the friends that I've made from Cornerstone, that my life would be completely different, trajectory.
One of my biggest concerns and the things that worries me the most about raising my boys, is who are their friends going to be? Yeah. Right. Like, who are the people that they're going to be going through life with? And I can't understate enough how important it is to not get that wrong.
And I make those sort of points to a lot of people that I have interaction with, younger people, because older people don't care about that. Yeah. But I make it to a lot of younger people that I come in contact with on the streets too, of just like, it was like, look, man, you're here because your friend wanted to come and shoot somebody. Yeah. Like, what do you think is going to happen because of that? Like you have to understand that you might just be in the car because you want it to hang out. Yeah. But you now need to understand that if someone saw you in the car while he was shooting, they're going to assume that you were shooting too.
Yeah.
Or, you had some part of it, you were planning.
Worst case scenario, you're going to be going through a legal battle. Like,
yeah. And so it was like simply because of that, you have now been included into something that you might be in, you might have been in protest the entire way there, the entire way away from it, and during the entire event. But no one knows that. And because of your associations with those people, you have now been included into that. And so it's such an important thing to remember who, and like not only your actions, but who you are associating yourself with just in general.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, man, we've been going for an hour.
Oh, dang.
I think this is a good place to end it on, but educate yourself and make good friends.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely make good friends.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.